Hello, welcome to Krafting Kitty. My name is Erin, and it's Saturday, so it's time for my weekly roundup. Yeah, I sang that a little off this time. That's okay. We're rolling with it. So, the winky wink was because it's not actually Saturday. I'm filming this very late, so you might hear my timer go off telling me it's time to get ready for bed. But it is technically Thursday, October 5th. Which is going to be important for one small part. But what is my weekly roundup? My weekly roundup is where I talk about my week in crafting generally and the book I read, but I didn't bring it, so we'll skip the book this week. So we go through my whips, works in progress, and finished objects, FOs. I skipped last week, but we were also a plague house, so I think I did pretty good considering everything. So what I have first is I did finish that ball of Mosaic Blanket yarn, and I thought I'd get 2 to 3 more squares. I got 3 more squares, so I am now going to pack these up and send those off. So quick, Laura, sorry, but it was fun. So yeah, I made those for the Boggy Creek Double Duck Dare Challenge that Laura from Mad Mimi's Crochet put out. You've got probably about another week. She said the deadline was October 15th or 16th for the squares to be sent in. I think it was 15th. But check out Laura's video if you want to hear all the details. It's a fun thing. I like Laura's sense of humor. So the other thing I completed was 2 hats, and I used the Noro Murray yarn. So I had got 2 balls of this yarn. So I finished the first cake, and I made just a kind of vanilla knit hat. And this is what the kind of my vanilla knit hat ends up as. So, my first adventure with this yarn, I wanted to try to design my own granny stitch hat. For some reason, I just had granny stitch in my head. And I did it myself, but I couldn't figure out the crown. And I was struggling and struggling, so I just did a double crochet crown, and then I did the body in granny stitch. And I got a very helpful comment that was, hey, could maybe just a granny hexagon work? Brilliant! And yes, it does. So, I did a granny hexagon and then built the hat down. So this is a full granny square, kind of slouchy, oversized beanie. Look at that! Isn't that cute? Thank you. It worked perfectly. I wish I could remember who made the comment, but look at how this color works up. This is gorgeous. This is such pretty yarn. And this is one of the Noros that has no wool in it. So if you're wool adverse, look for this Mirai, however you say it, M-I-R-A-I. It's cotton, silk, viscose, and polyamide. Polyamide is nylon. So it's awesome. I bought this from my local yarn shop, so now I can go and turn those in for my local yarn shop challenge. The local yarn shop I like around here is doing a 23 hats in 2023. If you make 23 hats using yarn you purchased at their store, show it to them. They can accept a picture, or if you bring in the actual hat, at the end of it you can pick out a free skein of Madeline Tosh yarn. Figured, why not give it a try? But the big news, is I finally finished my 2022 temperature blanket. I loved the idea of temperature blankets. I had never made one before, and I went into it kind of blind, not researching much. I should have researched more. So, first of all, my first problem was I decided to knit it. because when I started this, I was not, this was 2022. So I started this January 1st, 2022. I was picking out my yarn in December 2021. I learned to crochet in 2021. Would have been like the first, I wasn't making my own crochet things at that time. So I got the idea from crochet channels I was watching, but I decided to knit it myself. And problem number one is I only picked out 10 colors. And I had some temperature ranges that were 15 degrees. That doesn't work. I should just show you the blanket to tell you why I'm telling you all this. Okay, so the bottom here, I also got this super cute button off of Etsy. No, I'm not going to show you the button. I'm sorry. But it says temperature blanket, and it says the town and the year. It's very clever. It's a wooden button, and they can totally customize it. So if you're interested on something like that to label your blankies, check out Etsy. I think it was a brilliant idea. But anyway, so here's the blanket. So I loved my palette in the box. I thought it was super cool. And I still kind of love my palette. So I had white was below 0. The kind of taupey color was the next coldest. Then it went to blue, then green, then yellow, then the red. And in here, the this brown here was the second hottest color. And then I had an even hotter color that was for 100 and above. We never hit that number, so that color doesn't appear in the blanket. But one of the other issues I did was I thought I would be brilliant and use the average temperature for the day. So this is literally the average temperature for the day. Each night I wrote it down off of the website. But you don't have enough color variation. Like here, this is the summer, and it's just, there wasn't enough color variation. And this was, you know, I used a 15 degree range, and it wasn't smart. So my takeaways, if I were to do this again, I would get at least 12 colors. So I can use 10 degree increments, and I would pick either the high or the low and not the average. Because if you average it, they get a little too close. You just don't, sometimes you don't have enough to swing that much color variation. But yeah, it is finally done. Like I said, I started this on January 1st, 2022. And I completed it here, October 2023. But it's done. I stuck with it. And it's done. So in my Things We're Making Thursday, I mentioned the colors that I chose were sitting on my table from a project. It was my leftovers from this blanket. So there we go. Temperature blanket. Done and dusted. I did it. I did it. And that's my last finished object. So I didn't get to make a washcloth this week, mostly because all of my cotton I cleverly had in my basement. It's, the kids have a playroom in the basement. We spend a good amount of time every day there, so I kind of just shoved all my cotton down there. We quarantined Brian in the basement. I was cut off from my cotton supply, so I couldn't make a washcloth. And then I also wasn't able to work in the last 2 weeks on my Dino Stomp blanket because it was quarantined in the basement with Brian as well. So that's okay. That's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. I do have a number of whips to show you. So let's move on into that. Queen's Crafts by Bridget sock bag, 100 gram sock bag. Awesome! I've continued to work on Bingo's orange sock. I've done the cuffs done, heel flap, turn, gusset, all of that is complete. I'm working on the body, the foot. There you go. I'm doing that part. It's in the home stretch. I am using Premier Fruits sock yarn The poor little skein is so beat up at this point, I can't get it out of the bag without issue. Premier Fruit sock yarn. I'm basically smushing together the Crazy Sock Ladies vanilla sock pattern on 9-inch circs with a kids knit sock pattern that shows up on Premier.com when you look at this yarn online. Bag Queen Crafts by Bridget. The needles I'm using are my Clover Takumi 9-inch circulars. Bamboo US 2. And when I need them, my DPNs are Chow stainless steel. I have some bamboo DPNs, double pointed needles, but they feel like toothpicks and I'm sure I'm going to snap one. So I go to the Chow stainless steel. I think I'm less likely to snap one of those. The other thing I have is, it's a new month, it's a new Krafting Kitty Creator Spotlight, so I am of course making an item to be one of the giveaway items. We're going to talk about giveaways. Hang on to the end. And so I started my project. So this month we're doing Tamara Kelly Moogly's blog. And I picked out, she has a website as well. It's mooglyblog.com, I think. Yep. So check it out. She's got free PDFs that you can print. So I did. I'm doing the Heatherstone shawl. I only have a black and white printers, so that's what she looks like. This shawl is actually in gray and white, so it's not that different. But I'm not doing it in gray and white. There's also a YouTube tutorial. I will have that linked. But if you want the written instructions, they're there. You can write all your notes all over it. I like having the written ones. So I've started it. And here it is. I'm holding it upside down. There we go. So here we go. I'm working on it. I told you that would go off. Okay. So I'm starting it. I'm into it. I mean, it's October 5th. I got a long time to go. We're fine. I am using, she uses Karen Simply Soft in the pattern. I'm using Lion Brand Ferris Wheel in the colorway Pink Marmalade. Pink Marmalade, however you want to say it. I have 3 of them, which should be more than enough based on the yardage in the pattern. She does use a contrast color for the border. Unless I fear I'm running low on yardage, I'm going to keep the same color, I think. Because it's the the color changing yarn, I think it'll still look cool in the same colorway. We'll see, hopefully. So yeah, there we go. Look forward to that. That is 100% acrylic yarn. It also, in my opinion, Karen Simply Soft is a thinner 4-weight. And Ferris Wheel says it's a 4-weight, but in my opinion, again, it's a thinner 4-weight tending more towards a bulky 3. So I think they're good kind of switcheroos for each other. The other projects I have going on, I'm going to save that one for last. I am doing a mosaic blanket for the BOD auction. I thought this was going to wait, but I was cut off from the Dino Stomp blanket and I needed something else to occupy my time. So I used to be a one project gal. I do one project, work it all the way through. But I found I'm more productive if I do multiple projects, because if I get kind of bored with one, I can bounce to another and I don't get bored. So it's working out for me. Anyway, I felt the need after I finished the temperature blanket to work on another blanket. And no, I wasn't going to get Sophie out. No, she's still in the corner. She's going to wait. But I could start the Berber Afan. So I did. I got this as a pattern kit from Mary Maxim. Of course, for the BOD thing, you don't have to use a Mary Maxim kit. You don't have to. I just saw this, really liked it. Brian was like, get it. It's like, okay, I'm getting it. I'm using my Dots 5mm crochet hook. And this is where I am. I'm through pattern 5. There are 23 patterns in it, and I've done pattern 5. Am I holding it upside down? Indeed, I am holding it upside down. That is the bottom. Those squares are on the bottom. So here we go. That's what it looks like. This is all in Red Heart. The cream is Super Saver. The brown is Red Heart Ombre and Cocoa. And that's just the kit I picked out. So there we go. I'm excited. I think it's turning out lovely. Brian is super excited. He's like, oh, that's beautiful. I'm giving it away. So I might be getting another one. Or frankly, I've got the pattern now. I know where to buy the yarn. So I can certainly just go get different yarn. But there we go. Progress is being made. Like I said, there's 23 graphs in the pattern overall. And then you got to do the border. And this one, I think I'm going to do an envelope border. I've not tried one of those before. So let's give it a go. The worst it can do is fail. And then, who knows, maybe she'll be auctioning off a fringed mosaic. I don't know. It will not fail. I can do an envelope border. Come on, Erin. You can do it. Don't worry about it. So, yeah. That's the plan. I'm putting it back in here just to keep it safe. As you know, I've got a cat and 2 dogs. So, I want to keep that as safe and away from all of that as I can. Okay. Now, I'm going to talk about the giveaways first before I go into this. So, some channel business. I'm clear. Brian's clear. Chomps has a head cold, but he's been to the doctor a couple times now, and they're saying no, it's nothing. It's not COVID. It's not flu. It's not RSV. He's just got a crud. So since we've all got the all clear this weekend, my goal is to resolve all the giveaways. So if you are a winner from us and you're waiting for something, I've got a list and I will send it out and I will message you all as I send it out so you know it's gone out. There you go. So hopefully people will receive it and we don't have to put giveaways on a hiatus and I can send out the granny squares in good conscience. Yes! I'm excited. Okay, the final thing. Today is October 5th. Stephen West peeps will know why this is important and what might be in this bag. If you do not want a spoiler, the tiniest of tiny spoilers, turn me off. Have a wonderful day. I love you. I'll talk to you later. If you want to see where I'm at, keep watching. Oh, I don't have the pattern. Okay. So the pattern's sitting next to my chair in the other room. So I am doing again the Stephen West MKAL this year. It's a Geogradient, and I actually cast on day, and I am working through section 1 of clue 1. It's begun. I'm doing it, guys. So here we go. It's starting day. It's the start of the shawl. I'm darn proud of it. If you know the debacle that was 2022's MKAL, you will know why I am so proud of this. It's still sitting undone next to my project chair, taunting me. It's sitting next to Sophie. They're in cahoots. I don't know what they're doing. They both will be finished. I don't give up, but they're waiting their turns. So yeah, I'm trucking along. So clue 1 has 8 sections. My plan is to try to do a section a day, and I know that technically puts me a day behind because on, what is it, October 13th? What's 5 plus 7? 12? I don't know. Anyway, I won't be done by the time the next clue comes out. I'm okay with that. If I'm a couple days behind, if at the end of it I end up a week or 2 behind, that is a slam dunk in my book. I'm not worried. I am totally a knit at your own pace person, and I'm not going to feel bad about it. So, I will feel bad if you thought that was too much of a spoiler. But I did warn you. So let me know, are you doing the MKAL? I'd like to know. You know, colors, all that kind of stuff. If you're on Instagram, I can check out your pictures there or wherever you're sharing it. I'm so curious. I love it all. It's fun. It is fun. And so far, I was very excited when I read the initial cast on directions. I was like, yes! It's not so daunting when you're casting on a smaller number of stitches. You know, when it says cast on 350 and you're like, oh! It was decidedly smaller than 350. I don't want to give too much away. But yeah, so far I am enjoying it immensely. We'll see if I'm still singing the same tune later. Okay, I am going to now let you guys go. I will see you later. You're actually going to see a second video today because I have an opening that I want to get to. Okay, I'll see you later in that opening or just later for reasons. Oh, hint, hint. I think you might want to check out the channel on Sunday. So you might want to come back around tomorrow. Just in case. If you're curious. You never know. Bye.